Welcome to the Realm of Astrology. This is your daily horoscope for April 26th, 2021, which is a Monday. But before I begin, please hit the subscribe button. All right. So, the first thing that I want to talk about today is that Mercury and Venus are still conjunct. Okay. They have conjuncted over the past few days and they are still conjunct, as you can see on the chart. And what this means rather is that we are feeling extremely positive about our communication, about our diet, about our health, about our job, about our day-to-day routine. All these things are feeling very positive, and this is after we went through a sudden change in the same areas over the past 2 days. We also went through a sudden change in our relationships, in our love partnerships, in our business partnerships, in our self worth, values, skills, how we make money. All right. And now that energy is still continuing. However, I would like to point out that Saturn has been squaring this energy, and it required some tough decisions, some hard work, some discipline. Not always bad, but not. You did need to make effort. You did need to work to reach this transformation. All right, and around the same time, actually, it starts at about 3 a.m. Pacific time, but around the same time, the Moon squares Pluto. Okay, what is the moon? The moon is our emotions. The moon is our emotional body. And Pluto is regeneration, it's healing, it's catharsis, it's destruction, it's the end of the old and the beginning of the new. It's a complete reboot of things. And in a square is a 90-degree angle which demands change, which demands action. So we will be taking some action, we will be making some change to transform emotionally, and this has to do with our love relationships, with our business partnerships, with our skills, with our projects, with our finances, with our self-worth, with our values. All these things will come into play. So that's happening at about 3 a.m. And now I want to talk about the most important aspect, most important event that is happening today. The moon, it's a full moon. It's a full moon in Scorpio. So at about 9:30 a.m., let me pull up the chart to that. Yeah, around 9:30 a.m. It's 10:30 here, but it happens an hour before there. 9:30 a.m. Pacific time, the moon enters Scorpio. Okay. Now the moon changes signs every 2.5 days, and when it changes signs, what we focus in our day-to-day life shifts slightly. So for the past 2.5 days, as the moon was in the sign of Libra, we were extremely focused on what? Our relationships, our business projects, our legal issues. All right, and now the moon has shifted its energy to Scorpio. And what is Scorpio? Scorpio is the truth. It likes to explore, it's the detective, it's the hidden things, it's intimacy, it's also regeneration, healing, catharsis. All right, so for the next 2.5 days, I believe we will be doing a lot of regeneration, a lot of transformation, a lot of healing. And why do I say this? I say this because of the background, because of all the energy in Taurus, because of the Mercury Venus conjunction, because they met up with Uranus. If you've seen my last week's videos, you know how we've built up to this day. So that is why I say this is for the next 2.5 days, we will be focused on healing. It's not about ending all things, it's not about finding the truth, it's not about any of those things as much as it is about healing and catharsis. Okay, and let's get to the main event, the full moon, and that happens in the evening for you guys. So let me pull up the chart. It happens at 7 degrees of Scorpio, and there's the chart. The moon is right here and the sun is right here, and they are opposing, making a 180-degree angle, and that is a full moon. When the sun and the moon oppose each other, this energy feels extremely intense, it's extremely powerful, because the two planets that rule our consciousness and our emotional body are opposing. So we feel it very intensely. In this case, the moon is our emotions and emotional body, and the sun is our identity and consciousness, and they are opposing each other, so we'll feel it intensely. Now, what do full moons bring? They bring completions, they bring release points, they bring culmination points. And on this full moon, what are we releasing, culminating? What are we doing? First of all, we are culminating a cycle that started on the new moon on 11th April. So around then, we started to build something a little before then, but especially since the new moon on 11th April, we started to build something, we started to construct something, we started to build a new identity, construct a new life. And on this full moon, we will see clearly what that new beginning was all about that started around 11th April for us. Why will we see it clearly? Because the full moon is the night where the light is brightest, where you can see clearly. So, this is when what you started, there's clarity about that, what you started on 11th April. All right, so that's the first thing we are culminating. You could be releasing something related to that cycle as well. Maybe you started something and you say, hey, this part of that project is not working, so I need to get rid of that. So you release those things as well. Also, since it is in the sign of Scorpio, there's a lot of emotional release happening. There's a lot of emotional release happening that would heal us. All right. And another thing that we are culminating, this is the second thing we're culminating. The first thing was the new moon energy on April 11th, where we started to build something, construct something, start a new life, and that new life, something, is more clear to us now. The second thing that we are culminating, releasing, building on is the new moon in Scorpio that happened on November 14th or 15th, wherever you were in the world, 2020. So about 6 months ago. Now, what was that new moon? That new moon, after a very long time, was a positive moon. All right, it was a positive new moon. And why was it a positive new moon? First of all, it was the first new moon after the new moon in Libra that happened in October of 2020. That new moon was extremely significant because that's when the Saturn Pluto conjunction energy, which I speak about, which started for us in Jan of 2020, which changed our material reality completely, started to show itself without the past. That's when the baggage of the past went away. That's when the energy that we have been in since 1982 to 1984, the energy that started then ended. It ended in October of 2020 completely. And therefore, the cycle that began for us in January of 2020 of 33 to 38 years, which will be with us till 2053, could manifest itself without the past. Till October of 2020, the past was still with that new cycle. Now, the new moon in Scorpio in November of 2020 was the first new moon without the past from 1982 to 1984. And if you were born after that, without the past of your entire life. All right, and that was significant, and it was a magical new beginning because it was in a it was in a sextile to Neptune. All right. Yes, it was. I believe it was in a sextile to Neptune, if I remember correctly. But it was in a positive angle to Neptune, and Neptune is magic. So it was a magical new beginning that started for us in November 14th onwards, without any of the past. All right. And now we are culminating that beginning. So it's a big deal because that was a magical beginning, and now we are culminating it, we're releasing it, we're seeing what it was all about. So that's another thing that is happening. And this new moon, let's now discuss the aspect that this full moon is making. I said new moon, I meant full moon. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is that the moon here, yes, it's opposing the sun, that is a full moon, but it is also opposing Uranus, it's opposing Venus, Venus, it's opposing Mercury. It's opposing so much energy in Taurus, which just means it's an extremely intense new full moon. What is Uranus? Uranus is unexpected energy. It's sudden energy. It's out of the blue. And this full moon will bring unexpected events, unexpected emotional events that will transform our self-worth, values, finances, how we make money, our skills. All right. And since Venus, let me clear the chart for you. Since Venus is right next to it, this is a positive transformation, because Venus is a benefic. It's a positive transformation. It's a positive emotional transformation connected to our self-worth, our values, our skills, how we make money, and also connected to our love, our relationships, our finances, our projects, our legal partnerships, our business issues, also connected to our health, our diet, our mind, our communication, basically everything. And that is why this full moon is extremely transformative. Transformation that can come out of nowhere, that can be very sudden, but it's positive. It's very, very positive. All right. The next aspect that this full moon, with the moon here and the sun here and all this energy in Taurus is making, is a square to Saturn. Now, squares are a 90-degree angle and they feel challenging. They bring about change. They demand action. So, although this is a positive transformation to almost every aspect of our lives, a culmination to a cycle, a very magical cycle that began in November of 2020. It will require some work, it will require some dedication, it will require some decisions in order to move forward. Why? Because Saturn is squaring it. Saturn demands hard work, it demands decisions, it demands discipline. So we will have to do that. And this will be positive. Overall, the energy is very positive. Okay, and this moon is also in a trine to Mars. Mars is right here and the moon is right here. Okay, the sun is right here. This Mars is sextiling the sun. It is trining the moon. Positive angles, both positive angles. As we transform, as we take a decision to transform, as we are ready to put the work in, Mars is supporting us and giving us emotional courage to do so, because Mars is how we take action. And in this case, since it's in water signs, all about our emotions, it's emotional courage, it's emotional action, it's emotional transformation, catharsis, release. And with a sextile to the sun is our consciousness, it's our identity. It is instilling that drive, that courage in us. Okay, so it's a very transformative full moon. It will require decisions, it will require some hard work, and it's going to transform every aspect of our life. And we will have the courage to take that decision and put in that hard work. We will, because Mars is supporting us. All right. Yeah. So that's all I'll leave you with for today, which is the full moon in Scorpio, a big, big deal. And tomorrow, the ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, goes retrograde. We'll talk about it in tomorrow's video, but we are already in that energy of going retrograde. It's building up. And now I'm not going to talk about April 26th, 2021 or the full moon any longer. However, I am going to give you a brief background of what is happening in the astrology so that you can put whatever I have said today into context. So the first thing that I want to touch upon is that Jupiter right here and Pluto there in a semi-sextile. And this means as we transform, as we change, as we release, as we heal, we are blessed. We'll see positive outcomes because of that. And this energy is going to be with us for some more time, all right? The second thing that I want to touch upon is that Saturn is still trining the North Node, 120-degree angle. And what this means is, as we move towards our goals, North Node, as we move towards the path we've chosen, the North Node, Saturn is helping us build. It's helping us take decisions, put in the hard work so that we can achieve our goals, so that we can follow our path. And that's going to be with us all month. All right. The next thing that I want to talk about is the Chiron Uranus semi-sextile 30-degree angle. This energy is going to be with us all year, perhaps even longer. I'd have to check. And this energy is about healing our identity through unexpected skills, through unexpected ways of making money, through unconventional values and unexpected ideas about your own self-worth. All right. So this is going to be with us all year, maybe even longer. The second thing that I want to talk about is the North Node Uranus semi-sextile 30-degree angle. And whatever our goals are, whatever path you're headed towards, it's unconventional, it's unexpected. And however, it is something that is truly you on the inside, not who you think you should be. For example, if you thought you should be, I don't know, this is just an example, a doctor, that's what you thought you should be, but suddenly you're realizing that you're not a doctor, you're an artist. So we are going to move towards that path. You're going to make that your goal of becoming an artist and move towards it. And it may come as a surprise to even you that you want to become an artist. Okay. The next energy that's going to be with us for some time is the North Node Chiron sextile, a 60-degree angle. And what this means is that as we move towards our goals, we will heal. So there's a lot of healing, a lot of unexpected things this year. And the next thing that I want to talk about is the Saturn Chiron sextile, all right? 60-degree angle. Around Feb of 2021, we started to take a decision, or we started to build something that would heal our identity, and that something will be tangible by the end of the year. Okay. And the next thing that I want to talk about is what I call the theme of the year. It's the Saturn Uranus square, a 90-degree angle. And it's going to be with us all year, this energy. And what is this energy? This energy is about coming into your authentic self, becoming who you are and leaving behind who you think you should be. Okay, it's about getting rid of old ways of being, thinking, anything old, and becoming your new true self. And let me tell you, this will not feel easy because it will require you to change, it will require you to take action. So it may feel challenging, but by the end of the year, as long as when this energy is over, we would have found our authentic self, and that authentic self would be tangible, visible, palpable. Okay. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is the Jupiter Saturn conjunction that happened at 0 degrees of Aquarius right here. And they meet once in 20 years. So in 2020, December, they ended a cycle that began in the year 2000 and started a new one. We've seen most of what this 20-year cycle will entail, but not fully. And in the next 2 years, we will lay the foundation for the next 20-year cycle till 2040. And I mentioned this. Never mind, let's not go there. Okay. The second last thing that I want to talk about is the Pluto Saturn conjunction that happened at about 22 degrees right here in Jan of 2020. They meet once in 33 to 38 years. So it's a big deal. So in Jan of 2020, we ended a cycle that began in the year 1982, between 1982 and 1984. And the cycle in Jan of 2020 that started changed our material reality completely. Okay. And when I spoke about the full moon, this is the cycle that I was referring to, the cycle that began in Jan of 2020 that changed our material reality completely. However, till October, the past was still with us, the past from 1982 to 1984. In November, with the new moon in Scorpio, that past went away and a magical new beginning started. And this full moon today is the culmination point of that magical new cycle. And the last thing that I want to touch upon, and by the way, before I move on to the last thing, this Saturn Pluto cycle that started in Jan of 2020 will stay with us till 2053. So life has changed. Our material reality has shifted, and it's going to stay. It's transformed. It's transformed. And the last thing that I want to touch upon are the nodes. The North Node is in Gemini and the South Node is in Sagittarius. They were in the same placement between 2001 and 2003. And what that means is right now we may be revisiting, resolving, rebuilding, taking one step forward, themes, events, situations, people that started for us between 2001 and 2003. And we have been in this energy since May of 2020. Okay? So that's all I'll leave you with. Please hit the subscribe button and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.